Today, we're going to be talking about focusing on the good in your spouse. Have you ever had to think about it? I'm going to intentionally focus on the good in my spouse, and why?
Yes, because sometimes you could just be coasting through life, getting in the routine of what you do together, and you could just be going in kind of default mode, and you're not intentionally trying to think about good things about your spouse.
Do you ever remember a moment or some good things that you've thought about me as you're doing whatever you were doing?
Yeah, you could think about your spouse when you're not together, like, oh, I'm thankful, that I have a husband who's responsible. You could think, about some good things that your spouse did for you.
Right.
Like sometimes that really maybe they surprised you, or, bought you a gift, or were just thoughtful towards you. And it always kind of, just re-sparks an appreciation for that person.
Yeah, I think that's great, because it's a lot of times when, say I'm at work and I'm not with you or wherever, that I often think a lot of good thoughts about you, just on a regular basis. And I think that's part of honoring your spouse. I think when you honor your spouse, you're putting them in a high regard, and you are thinking about them on a regular basis, and I
thinking about good things about them.
Yeah, good things about them, and I think it's good to think about your spouse, because I personally think it's a privilege to be married.
Yeah.
I got you hooked. You got me hooked too, though. Now we hooked. From the first day that I saw you, I was hooked. Then I shoot my game to you, now you hooked. We done had 3 kids together, now we hooked. You the dope, I'm the fiend, that's the look. I love putting logs in the fire, keep it hot. Keep the fire burning, no, never stop. Somebody told me where you got her, where you keep her now. I always thought a player keep his woman, keep her down. He keep her living, keep her working, keep her with a smile. Do his best for his lady, walk her down the aisle. He help her do them good works, make her radiate. Then she turn to you, and now it's time to celebrate. I got you hooked, you got me hooked, now we celebrate. I got you hooked, you got me hooked, now we celebrate. I got you hooked, you got me hooked, now we celebrate.
I got you hooked, you got me hooked, now we celebrate.
I'm thankful and I'm honored that you would even say I do, and pledge your love and share your life with me. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. If you really think about it, for all the married couples out there, it's a blessing when your spouse or somebody would actually go to the altar and say I do.
Yeah, it's something to be thankful for.
Yeah, I think that's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of like, that's something that I can always think good about my spouse, and all the good things that you've done for us over and over, and it makes me have a better day. It makes me even when I get home, it makes me it just makes us close. I think it keeps us close, even though we may not be together. It's a way that keeps you close.
Yeah, and I think just the word focus is good, because it's like it takes an intentional amount of energy to focus, and sometimes taking your spouse for granted is just not putting energy into that person, or energy in your thought, because we spend our energy in a lot of other areas.
That's a good point.
As a team, so a lot of times married couples as a team, we're exerting energy on our job, on cleaning up, on taking care of the kids. And just in the midst of everything you have to do, you can forget to put energy and just thinking good thoughts
Right.
about your spouse.
Right. And you shouldn't give your spouse all the leftovers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as you want to
I know
say,
what you're talking
you want
about
to
right
say
there.
good energy.
Yeah.
The good energy for your spouse. You know what I
Yes,
mean? And you want to be understanding, and you want to know what they've been going throughout their whole day to provide basically for your family and kind of meet all the needs. But you want to make sure you share some good.
Because that can be hard because we all have tasks and goals that we have to meet, and so you sometimes don't preserve the energy because you feel like I need the energy to get this done.
Right.
But if you focus and you intentionally think, okay, I'm going to save a level of an amount of energy and thought and my physical energy for my spouse, then, you know, it goes a long way, and it just reminds you to do your very best for the person who you are committed to.
Right. How important do you think it is to think good thoughts about your spouse when you have unresolved conflict and you were forced, say you didn't resolve a conflict that you might have had, and now you have to go out into work, your husband has to go. What do you think about that when it's hard to think good thoughts about your spouse? Maybe you're not in a good thinking mood about thinking good thoughts about me. Maybe you think I'm the total opposite.
Because you can be, depending on your personality, some people are more forgiving than others. Some people are more unmerciful than others. But yes, if you have unresolved conflict, that can be very challenging to focus on good thoughts. Or if you have unforgiveness, how do you do that?
Well, for me personally, I think
Overwhelmed with this love spell, I never will forget the way I felt when you said you love me too, baby. After all that we've been through, I'm so glad I stuck with you. I know that we can start off new, yeah. 'Cause baby, I love you and you love me too. So what we gon' do? What we gon' do?
I knew you were the one, the woman of my dreams. I knew you were the one I make my queen. I knew you were the one, the apple of my eyes. I knew you were the one, my sweet potato pie. Thank you for your love, your dedication, your hard work, communication. You know I love you, girl, and don't forget it. Now I know you the one, and we both with it.
I think it's what you choose to focus on. I think if you choose to focus on anybody who's been married, if you went to the altar at some point, and this is especially for people who are on the verge of divorce, and it's really been a struggle, it's been hard, it's been challenging. I'm kind of talking to you right now, where it's just kind of like you're hanging on by a thread, if anything. I think it's very, 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 very important and crucial during these moments that when you have unresolved conflict and you're in that type of situation where you can't think anything positive about your spouse, or for the husband to the wife or the wife to the husband, I think it's important. I think it's important to think good thoughts about your spouse. And the reason why, what difference does it make? If you really think about it, if you're going to get a divorce, what you got to lose? You're going to get a divorce. You're on your way to getting a divorce. So what you can try and do to salvage that in faith, it's better for you to think about all the good times. Okay, I'm going to humble myself.
Humility.
I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to swallow. I'm going to swallow that. I'm going to eat some humble pie. I'm going to eat some humble pie. And to tell you the truth, you really... It depends what somebody has done to you. You know what I mean? As far as a marriage is concerned and what you're able to deal with or not.
Does it?
Huh? For me, it does. It depends. It depends not for everybody, but it's to each his own as far as the stuff they deal with or don't deal with. But what I am saying is, if you think good about your spouse, you're gonna start loving your spouse again, or you're gonna start liking your spouse, cause your mind, it can't do two things at the same time. So if I'm thinking good thoughts about you, I'm erasing the bad ones. It's kind of like I can't think about the bad ones and the good ones.
Yeah.
In every marriage, if they go into the altar, you do have some good memories.
You do.
I mean, you have some good memories, whether you were laughing together or just walking, holding hands, the time you were hugging, the time that love, that you were just enjoying one another's company, that time, you know, whatever it is, most people who are married, if they really thought about it, they could think about quite a few memories, good memories, about why they like their spouse.
This is that married life.